release a black child's hair. Very seriously.
Baby, they hate you and you tried to help them. Ain't that some shit?
This whole conversation about the bust down application of braids is so insane. Down here in Alabama, everybody had micro braids. It was a fad, early 2000s, micro braids. Braid a little bit, leave the hair out. This real used to pull everybody's edges out. Wet and wavy braids. I had wet and wavy braids for graduation in high school in 2011. Either y'all are very young or y'all are just trying to rewrite history. I don't like it. It's braids. It's not, and as somebody that takes things very deeply, this is not that deep. The fact that y'all are trying to find something like that, but y'all need to go talk to a therapist about that.
And you know something that annoys me about like the black hair community in general? Why does everything have to have a label? Why do I have to be considered a straight natural because I get a silk press more frequently than the average person? Why do I have to be a wig warrior because sometimes I like a bust down? Like literally, why do we need labels? I'm literally every woman for real. Like I do it all.
And racism and white beauty standards have trained black women to hate their hair. Yesterday, I posted my silk press by a white hairstylist, and baby, the black women in the comments is tearing me up. They like, that's not a silk press, that's a blowout. When are we gonna realize that the older generation permed hair to get it bone straight like a white woman? But now that we know the science behind our hair, we don't have to conform to those same beauty standards. Like my 4C hair has micro coils. That's when the coil is so tight within the strand that it's wrapping within itself. So on my non-heat trained hair, yes, I only did one pass with a flat iron. The integrity of my curls were not worth jeopardizing for a 1 week silk press. And in the fall, I might try the Dominican silk press, okay? But I want y'all to realize that this series is called Making 4C Hair Easy because we're debunking the stigma that 4C hair is difficult. 4C hair is not difficult. When you stop trying to force it to do something it's not supposed to do. Your hair is never supposed to give 1/8. But if you want to learn how to do natural hair, especially the curls, then definitely give me a follow and we're going to do it together. Thanks.
This is the portion that becomes a little irritating, right? Because we have people make comments like the one that he just made speaking on black women and the way that black women wear their hair and the way that black women have worn their hair throughout the decades as if to infer in some type of way that the only reason that black women wear their hair in a curly state is because they're proud to be black, or if they decide that they don't want to wear their hair in its swollen state, then they are somehow ashamed of being a black woman and they are adjacent to white women or trying to be adjacent to white women. And the thing is this, the group of women on earth that are obsessed with being white adjacent or who are obsessed with other races are the women who are extreme team naturals. You're the only people obsessed with being white adjacent, because I can guarantee you most black women, when they come into the hair salon or if they are deciding to straighten or relax their hair, it is not because they're trying to be white adjacent. It's because it is more convenient. Not to mention, your hair is in two states. It's in a swollen state or a stretched state. And some people find it easier to manipulate their hair when it is stretched. And some people find it easier to manipulate their hair whenever it is in its most natural form. And if that's what you choose to do, then okay. But throughout history, our ancestors wore their hair in many different ways. Was there racism to the point where it was like, oh, they were talking about black women and their hair and things of that nature? Yes, absolutely. But does that mean that every black woman walking the face of this earth that doesn't have an afro is only not wearing the afro because she doesn't want white people to feel weird about her? No. That only lives in the heads of a small group of people. It lives in the head of grifters and it lives in the head of tethers, because they want to link on to something and try to cause you to live in the shame of slavery and your ancestors and you not being proud of yourself. But if we look through the history of black women and their hairstyling and all of the things that they chose to do, these are the things and the looks that really made me want to be a part of the hair industry, because when you look at the excellence of a Black woman over the decades, what you will see is so much creativity. What you will see is so much flexibility, and none of these styles are bad unless they're done in the wrong way. When we look in the early 1900s, right, we had high collars, long sleeves, we had really, really beautiful updos and hats with ribbons and feathers and elegant, modest silhouettes, right? That was our thing. And then the early 1900s, but we're still talking about between 1910 and 1919, we had tailored suits and long skirts, and we had well-brimmed hats. Listen, a lady, okay? We wore really, really soft updos. So the updos went a little lower. We had graceful, refined style. And then in the 1920s, between 1920 and 1929, we had, our flapper dresses and the drop waist with the beaded details and the fringe. This is where we had the finger waves, baby, and those bob cuts. It was bold, modern, and a liberated look. It was beautiful. And this was not trying to be white adjacent. We were bad, okay? Some bad mama jammas, and they could never, okay? And then when we're talking about the 1930s, this is between 1930 and 1939. This is when we have the longer, elegant dresses. And this is when you had those really boom, boom curls with the beautiful shoulder details. The curls were defined and we wore those deep side part. Things were polished and sophisticated in the 30s. But then when we get to the 40s, baby, this is between, of course, 1940 and 1949. We had those shoulder pads and those tailored suits, right? We wore a lot more victory rolls and pin curls, beautiful hair wraps, not bonnets. So I understand some days you don't feel like doing your hair, but baby, in the 40s, they would never be outside with a bonnet on. Auntie or mama, they put those hair wraps on and it was beautiful, practical style, strong, classic silhouettes. And then in the 50s, we had full skirts, right? Clinch waist, curled styles, updos, pearls, gloves, cat eyes, baby. It was really feminine and ladylike, but it definitely wasn't to be adjacent to white women. This was the style and the sophistication of back then. And then in the 60s, that was when the dresses and the style shifted a little bit, right? This is around the Black Power movement, and this is around the Black Panther movement and all of the things. This is where your afros, your beehives, your headbands, the bold prints, the bright colors, and the youthful revolutionary looks. This is when those things were happening because this was the current moment, right? This was the current thing. It's not like, oh my God, we have to wear our hair straight like this or else. But there was a group of women who were really within that revolutionary stance. And it wasn't just about hair, but hair was something that we all used as symbolism. So we would use hair as symbolism, like I'm about to have an afro because my hair is big, it's beautiful, and it makes a statement, right? And then in the 1970s, right, we had the bell bottoms and the jumpsuits, the afros, the braids, the natural hair, right? The really beautiful earthy tones and the bold patterns, right? This is when things were really free, expressive, and really cultural, right? And then we're going to go to the 80s. And I want you guys to hear from my mom in a second because she was around through this time. She wore her hair in a cute fro and she will be the first person to tell you, right? And then this was the shoulder pads, right? And the bold colors, the big hair, the perms and the asymmetrical cuts, the gold jewelry, the statement pieces, and the power, right? This was where it went from power to the people to just straight individuality, right? And with that individuality, that is why Simple Apothecary was formed, because I am a holistic research scientist. So things start from the inside out. And this is one of my gurus that not only shops the Apothecary, but she is a part of the 7-day reset. And look at her fro. Baby, gurus already know how it go. Links below. And in the 90s, this is when we had the baggy jeans and the crop tops, right? The braids, the bobs, the pixie cuts start going off. Like, that's where I am right now in my pixie cut energy. Like, I was born in 1990, and that's why I think my soul is sticking here with the cute baddie pixie cut. It's just a thing for me, right? And then we had minimalism, and this is where streetwear was like out there, the cute pixies and the tomboy girl, right? Cool, laid back, and authentic. And then we get into the 2000s. This is where the low-rise jeans and, you know, the baby tees, the long weaves, the big body full curls and the braids. And this is where stuff gets started. You know, the velour tracksuits, the bling bling, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. That's this era. And then when we're talking about the 2010s, right? This is where most of you became interested. This is where most of you are stuck. And I know a lot of people won't want to hear this, but this is where most people are stuck. You think that what went on in between 2010 and I'm gonna say 2019, or really up to right now, this is where you guys think that reality has stuck. This is where you think hair care is where it's always been and where it belongs. And you guys believe that before this point, everything before this point that I just named, they were all ashamed to be black. Except for in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, apparently. All of the other women before that, they were all ashamed to be black. The women in the 1900s, the early 1900s, in 1910, 20, 30, 40, 50, all of them were ashamed to be black, apparently, right? But now we get to the 2010s, and this is where we come to the boycotts, right? This is where we come to the boycotts and the streetwear. And this is where natural hair and washing goes and curls, box braids and locks. This is where those things became way more popular, right? This is where the diversity was like, nobody has an option. The self-love and the innovation. And it started off good. It started off really good, but things turned toxic so fast. It turned toxic so fast because so many people are just like, no, my way or the highway. If it's not my way, then it's not right. And that's simply just not true. And then you find yourself being shamed all the time. And then 2010 brought all of the judgmental people. And it also brought all of the people that said, only team natural, only curly hair. And if you wear your hair anything other than curly, you are ashamed of yourself. You're ashamed to be a black person, and you need to go do something else with your life. And it has never stopped. It has went from what you all perceive as basically black women being ashamed of themselves to basically everything that came before being non-existent. Okay, so Mom, we just going down the line of like, you know, hair throughout the years. So you would be like around here,
I'm
right? In between.
In the late 70s and then.
That's what I said. So right now, my mom is going to tell you how she used to wear her hair. And by the time that I edit this video, I post a clip of how my mom fro used to look because it was cute. But this is how her fro used to look and how.
So back in the day, I used to wear my hair in a curly fro. And what I would do is I would braid my hair at night, roll it up with the pink rollers, and then comb it out every day. And I managed my hair that way, and it was the best way to do it.
And did you roll it? Did you roll your hair when it was wet, or did you roll it after you blow dried it?
After I blow dried it.
Amen. You see, they went washing and going. Thank you, Mom. That's all I wanted. And that's how you got this cute fro that I'm about to pop up. So even though you all want to believe that between the 70s and the 80s and all while our ancestors, our mamas, our aunties, and our grandmas were doing they cute froze and stuff, y'all are under the impression that they were doing wash and goes and they were anti blow dryer and combs and brushes. They were not. My mother blow dried her hair on a daily basis, and then she followed the steps that she's telling you that she followed. And like I said before she got in here, my mother was right here between 1970 and 1980. That was her age group where she was doing it. And my mother's fro looked more like what's happening right here in the 1980s instead of the 1960s. And this is something that we have to pay attention to. But instead of doing that, so everybody can rage bait, so everybody can jump on the bandwagon, everybody's just like, oh, if you're a black woman, you have to wear your hair like they wore it in the 1960s, or you're ashamed to be black. And that's bullshit. You can't use blow dryers. Blow dryers are bad, and the only way you can blow dry your hair is if you use this $500 blow dryer. It's BS. It's bullshit. It's how they get you to buy products, because you can get away with getting a cheap Conair blow dryer and being good. You never have to spend a whole bunch of money. In the video that's coming up next, make sure your post notifications are on. We'll dive deeper into Conair, but I need y'all to understand that all of this team natural jargon that y'all want to push on everybody and make other black women feel ashamed of themselves because they want to use blow dryers or because they want to use flat irons. You are not following in your ancestors' steps. Your ancestors were not just wetting their hair and walking around the house and then that was their afro. No, that is not how my mama got her bomb ass afro. It is not. And yes, she was what you would perceive as natural. And that is how she wore her hair on a regular basis. So in the past, people have found my videos through other people and they would hear them say things like, oh, she hates natural hair and things of that nature. No, I don't. I hate the way that you all perceive that natural hair should be treated. Just because your hair is curly doesn't mean it requires low maintenance. And I think that is where y'all all get everything mixed up. For whatever reason, now in the late 2020s, this is the time I feel like we have digressed. I don't feel like we're progressing. I feel like we're going backwards, because if you go to the early 1900s, 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, they were spending time on doing their hair. Whether you want to say they were doing it so they could fit in with white people, whatever the hell you want to say, those women looked good. And they were not just getting up, going outside with bonnets on. 1940 shows you that, yes, they still found a way. If they didn't feel like doing their hair and juzzing it all up, you know what I'm saying, they would put a headband on and they would still look presentable. You being ratchet and you being outside with a bonnet on, that does not represent your ancestors. And people are not policing black women when they say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this to your hair. Maybe you should do it like this. Stop air drying your hair. Don't air dry your hair. Why don't you actually put something else in it? Why don't you blow dry your hair and then do a roller set, or just do a roller set from wet to dry? Like, there are so many different options, but you just doing a wash and go every day, that's not a thing. And my mother told me that whenever they did 2-strand twists, they only got those right before they got locks. Right before they got locks, and the longer they left them in, the twist would get frizzier, and then they would take them out. Now, black women now between now 2020 and 2026, you all are obsessed with twists. Why? Because you think that it makes your hair grow. No, it doesn't. Your hair is going to grow regardless of how your hair is. But the thing is, what is tricking you is you are able to retain length. Everybody retains length. Why do you think the rest of the women on the planet have really, really long hair? The difference is most black women play in their hair too much. So when you stop playing in your hair and you put it in all of these little twists, you're not breaking it off. But you know what else you're not doing? You're not moving it. You're not giving it any memory. So the second you put a comb to it, the second you put a brush to it, your hair is going to break. And so in response to that, you got the Team Naturalists came up with this other thing like, oh, we don't use combs and brushes. We're not going to use combs and brushes because combs and brushes are bad. Combs and brushes are horrible. And you're only supposed to use your fingers. And it's so idiotic. Because the average human being has anywhere between 1,000 and 400,000 strands of hair on their head. So if you only using 4 fingers, because who's really 8 fingers, because who's detangling with their thumbs, you're gonna leave all of your 400,000 strands of hair up to 8 digits to detangle. Is absolute insanity. Yet and still you get up every morning and you brush your teeth with a brush that has I don't even know how many bristles that toothbrush has. So you can brush your teeth, but you can't brush your hair. These are the conversations that we need to have. These are the things that we need to be talking about. And now in 2026 and beyond, women are beginning to see that the things that they followed in Team Natural have not helped them as much as they think it has. And the second they take their hair out of those twists that they've been in all this time, the second that they remove all of the different layers of hair, because y'all been doing the lock method and all that stuff, the second you remove those things from the scalp and from the hair shaft, you get the real life version of your hair. And the thing about that is most of you don't like it, because what you've been doing the majority of the time is covering and saturating your hair in oil. And so the oil has been covering the damage that your hair shaft really has. The oil's been covering it. So then you go see a licensed cosmetologist. She gives you a clarifying shampoo, strips all of that that oil liquid cream that you've been putting on, the liquid oil cream that you've been putting on. That cosmetologist gives you a clarifying shampoo, strips it all off, and then this is what's there. But you didn't know that because your hair was layered in hair products. So then the cosmetologist takes this off, and then you get a flat iron and bam, you have heat damage. Of course you have heat damage. Look at this portion at the very top. That's how the cuticle is supposed to look. But if you have a follicle disorder, which most of you do, especially if you have single strand knots, I can almost guarantee you, if you have a lot of single strand knots, this is how your hair shaft looks. So you walk into a hair salon and the hairstylist puts a flat iron on this, you will get instant heat damage. Your curls will not revert back. This looks like some bullshit.
To someone with curly hair, the absolute worst thing that could happen to someone with curly hair,
I don't know what this is, though.
to me, severe heat damage. This is what my hair looked like washing it after the last time I had it straightened. In a panic, I ran to Amazon to buy products that could potentially help my hair, but I know that there's no saving this hair. Like, this hair is damaged beyond repair. And mind you, this is what my hair looked like prior to getting it straightened, and this was the last natural hairstyle that I had. And this is for my hair straight, you know, she's cute, but little did I know that my hair was going to turn out like this.
And I love y'all, but I don't care. And I know y'all not going to agree with me. I stand by everything that I said. I don't know this woman. I have seen this video before, but it starts off with heat damage. And then they'll be like, how was my hair before? And their hair before was Team Natural stuff. And y'all think because visually the hair is swollen and it looks juicy, and when you put all of these different layers of, like, y'all doing liquid oil cream and y'all putting all of these products on y'all hair, so y'all getting slick thinking that your hair is healthy, where in reality, sis, if all that woman did was use a blow dryer and a flat iron regularly, you had a severe hair shaft disorder before. I have never in my life seen anybody's hair just randomly fall out like that after getting their hair blow dried and flat iron, unless they have a hair shaft disorder. If you have a hair shaft disorder and then you get a clarifying treatment, And a flat iron, absolutely, but it actually doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not being nasty, but I really would love to see how she was detangling her hair in the shower, because even with damaged hair, I have never seen no shit like that where you got all of your hair sticking to the wall of the shower. Like, how does that even happen? Your curls are not going to revert back. It's going to stay just like this. Why? Because you have heat damage. Why do you have heat damage? Because you keep following Team Natural and nobody can tell you anything. And the only people that you'll listen to are the people that make you feel like you are the one that's proud of yourself because you are the one that is wearing your hair natural. Where in reality, that's not true. Just because you are wearing your hair natural does not automatically make you a person who has healthy hair. It's not true.
The integrity of my curls were not worth jeopardizing for a 1 week silk press.
And the thing is, people are so intense. And when people are intense like he is, it gives you the illusion that they really know what they're talking about. But the truth of the matter is, it's not.
The reason I can't take y'all seriously when it comes to critiquing this hairstyle because y'all think it's not slicked back enough is because y'all do this every fucking month and nothing is ever good enough for y'all. This girl, I haven't forgot when black people were in the comments jumping her talking about, oh, if I had this hairstyle, I wouldn't even be able to go outside. I haven't forgotten when this girl was doing a slick back and literally said she wanted to have some texture with it, and black people in the comments were jumping her for it. I haven't forgotten when this biracial girl came on the internet talking about her white mom said her hair looked dirty, and the comments were full of people fucking agreeing. I'm not saying we need to like everybody's hairstyle. That's not what I'm saying. If you don't like somebody's hairstyle, okay. But this shit is a broader issue because in a lot of these videos, people were using gel, blow drying their hair, this and that, and y'all were still in the comments jumping the fuck out of them. Y'all was gonna jump people either way. The reason I can't take y'all seriously when
And I feel the same exact way, because at this rate, there is literally no pleasing black women, because how her hair looks right now, how she's wearing her hair right now, I don't know why. It just like made me feel away, like on the inside, because this is how our ancestors wore their hair. Look at how her hair is, right? And then let's look back at this picture from the early, I think it's like the 1920s. Because it has a whole lot of resemblance. So hold on, let me go back, or let's wait until she goes back and look at how her hair looks. How her hair looks is freaking beautiful. Look at how their hair is looking in the between 1900 and 1909, and look at how their hair is looking in the 1910s. It was slicked, but it wasn't slicked back. They didn't have edge control. But yet and still, again, it's never good enough. It doesn't matter what a woman does. It doesn't matter if a woman decides that she's going to wear her hair blown out. It doesn't matter. You literally have went from, they were wearing their hair straight and they wear their hair flat iron because they're trying to please white people. Well, now we've went from trying to please white people to trying to please other black women. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, because at one point people end up deciding that they don't want to help anymore, right? People get to a place where they're like, you know what? This isn't really worth it for me anymore. I don't see a point. I don't see anything. I'm not getting anything out of it. Constantly trying to help this group of women, because all they're going to do is attack. All they're going to do is say that we're policing them and we're trying to tell them what to do, where in reality, that's not what's happening. Throughout this video, you've seen some people up on the screen and things that they have to say. And I'm going to do a video just specifically about reviews and stuff, even though I know y'all don't like that stuff. It doesn't matter. I'm about to put it out there, but I really just need y'all to know, people that are telling y'all, oh, don't do this style, don't do that, it's not because we think we know everything and we think we're so much better than you. People have been trying for decades to keep black women from dealing with the things that they're dealing with now, because there's never been a time throughout history where black women have been going through this type of balding this young. most of the time balding, like what you're about to see, doesn't happen until you hit like your 50s or your 60s, till you hit menopause and you start getting all of those different internal hormonal changes. But it's happening now with y'all, and I wonder why.
Updates.
I took my break.
All right, guys, we're gonna start a new series on my pages.
Welcome back to my hair transplant updates. Footnote: I have a lot of dandruff. I've been out of town for a couple of days. Wasn't here with my hair care product. My skin dry as a motherfucker. I'm combing it out. Get ready to wash it. This is the aftermath. Great. Now, on my last video that I posted, people were saying it's the wig stunting the growth. Let your scalp breathe. If every night, I don't care what it is, that wig coming off. I'm not wearing my wig for no 20, 24 hours a day. I'm not doing it. If I'm going outside, if I have an obligation, or if I'm somewhere in public, or whatever the case is, you will see a wig on. Secondly, I do not use glue. I use this adhesive lace bond spray that is fully dissolvable using water. I could take a water on a rag, rub it across, the shit gonna slide off. Then I use spritz to reactivate this if I don't have this on hand. Secondly, y'all keep talking about take the wig off. Had I not been given prior permission to wear my wig, I wouldn't be wearing it. The thing was, wear the wig, but make sure your scalp breathes. Thirdly, I do have supplements now that I'm taking from Hair MD, whatever the fuck this shit is. This is a serum spray. These are pills that helps it work from the inside. Fourthly, if we're on the fourth, it takes 12 to 16 months to see full results. So for those of y'all who was just watching me 3 months ago and I was bald-headed like this, it appears I'm the same way. I promise you, there is results. I just like being funny on the internet, making parodies. So don't take what it is that I'm saying full-fledged. Take it with a grain of salt and keep it pushing. Now, I am back home and I don't have any other obligations that I'm due to. So you guys will be seeing more of my bald head. But for the most part, everything is cool. Everything is copacetic. Shout out to Be Alive. I'm saying they have been checking up on me. I just don't be checking my WhatsApp, worth a damn, or whatever the case is. If you're concerned, don't be concerned. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do according to the guidelines. My shit getting thick. Y'all see how hard it is? Period. Now, if you've been watching me for a long time, then for a fact, all of this here used to be slick fucking bald. I'm talking about slick fucking bald. Look at it. It's working. It's working. Okay. There was a point where you could not see any follicles coming in at all. It's doing its thing, y'all. If I'm being funny, just let me be funny. Eventually, I'll be out here wearing natural ponytails like you hoes. Hello. Okay. I know you clapping and shit and you happy for me. I appreciate that. But let me go wash my shit, though. Let me go wash my shit. I am going back for round 2 till I can get this part done. But shit, this might actually make that big. But anyway, shout out to Be Alive. Shout out to doctors. This is what we're looking at right now.
I took my braid down and looked at my hair. I knew there was no going back. The middle of my hair has become so thin. Shaving it felt like the best decision for me. Can you see how the center of my hair is looking like? I've been reading all your comments and so many of you will be saying, oh, I should go and see a doctor or get my scalp checked. Personally, I don't know exactly why my hair turned out this way, or maybe I do.
Whenever I see something like this, I immediately start to wonder if there is more than one diagnosis happening at the same time. A lot of times people can actually have multiple types of alopecia on the corners here that may be traction alopecia, or it may be an atypical presentation of centrocentrifugal cicatricial alopecia, a type of scarring alopecia. I also, when I see this mid-scalp area right up here, I get concerned that that is probably CCCA as well, or some other type of scarring alopecia like lichen planopilaris. In either case, in a scenario like this, just shaving off the hair is not enough sometimes. What you actually need to do is get a biopsy. You need to see a dermatologist or a hair restoration specialist, get a biopsy so that you can actually get a diagnosis. And not just one biopsy, get multiple biopsies from multiple places so that you can get an accurate diagnosis. And that way you can actually treat the underlying disorder rather than just mask it by shaving off your hair.
I took
my braid down and looked at.
I have literally been saying this for so long. I have videos about CCCA on this channel. I have videos about folliculitis, traction alopecia, androgenetic alopecia, you name it. I have a video about it, but every time I make a video, it's like, oh, you're being rude. You're stop policing Black women. Let them do what they want to do. But now we are at a place where you all literally, there's nothing anybody can do. Now you all are at a place where you either cold turkey and change everything and listen to what I've been saying this whole time anyway, or you're going to get a hair transplant. So it's so sad because people should have, yes, I am saying I told you so. People should have listened because I've been warning y'all forever. But when I warn y'all, I'm the bad guy. The people who have been telling y'all to do all of this stupid stuff, greasing and oiling the scalp, these are the people that you're supposed to be mad at. And where are they? Guess what? They're at the dermatologist right along with you because they have CCCA, folliculitis, dermatitis, androgenetic alopecia, everything that I told you about, they all have. So all of your favorite people that are no longer on, they're like, oh, they're blaming it on their babies. No, they're not. And I told y'all it would happen. The videos are still here. They'll never be gone. The playlist has been turned into a course. I'll link it in the description box below. I've been telling you the same thing this man just said, word for word, verbatim. But when I said it, I was the bad guy.
The one video on start, baby, didn't nobody tell me that one video on starting over was gonna lead to a whole series.
Oh my God.
But we here now, so let's go. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Janae, and I was diagnosed with CCCA alopecia in 2018 after a scalp biopsy. And CCCA is a scarring alopecia that causes a lot of inflammation in the scalp, and it leads to hair loss. And so once I got the diagnosis, I started doing treatment, started doing shots. I eventually stopped, and I did my own research. And although the doctor said that my hair follicles were dead, my hair grew back. It was full. It was good. And of course, over the years, it's just been an up and down. I was then diagnosed with telogen effluvium, which is basically stress-related hair loss, but it is aggressive, right? And so when I have seasons of stress, I find myself losing a lot of hair. And so my hair grew back this year. It was thick. It was long in January. And then come March, baby, all that hair was gone. So I decided to cut it.
Got like my daddy? Absolutely. Bald head, scaly wet. Ain't got no hair in the back. Gelled up, heaved up. Your hair is.
Okay, that's nice. So let's see. I just want to see, how were you wearing your hair prior to?
Baby, I done wrote a whole book for my single women. My second book.
Braids.
This is Janai.
Braids.
Baby, I done wrote.
We're walking past, start getting speakers.
Braids.
I'm newly married and I got some
Wigs.
questions.
Keep going, girl. I don't have nothing inspirational. Just keep on going, honey. Just keep going, girl. I don't have nothing inspirational. Just keep.
This won't be an attack, but I want you to spot something, because people like me have literally been trying to tell Black women, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. But every time we tell you what to do, or every time we give you a suggestion, it's like, leave me alone. My grandma been doing this all this time. There is no reason why women this young should have hair loss that looks like this. There is literally no reason. I just want to go on her page and see how she was wearing her hair before she started talking about traction alopecia. But I think her beginning stages were traction alopecia from wigs is way more common than you think. That big ass bald spot did not come from a wig. I'm sorry, it didn't. No, it's way more than no. And this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, though. How many, let's say that it was, how many times have Black women or Black cosmetologists said, don't leave wigs in your hair like that. Don't do that. Don't wear these combs. Wigs and lace is not meant to be worn on a regular basis. They're only something that's for that night, and then you take it out. That's what it's for. But no. We're the bad guy when we say that. This is not normal for this many young Black women to be going through this type of hair loss. This is not normal, y'all. It's not. This is not a normal thing. This is not something that should be constantly happening. It isn't. It makes no sense. And I know you guys think that braids are the way. If you have a bald spot, the last thing you should be putting in your hair is more braids, especially around that area where the stress is. But if anybody says anything to a black woman about wearing braids and having braids in her hair, she's telling you to shut up and mind your business. But I want to ask you, why do all of these women who don't know each other have the same bald spots? Why? And you guys are all young. We're not going to blame nutritional deficiencies. We're not going to blame hormones. We're going to blame the same things that everybody's doing. Y'all are all doing wash and goes. Y'all all are constantly wearing braids and twists. You're all constantly oiling and greasing the scalp. You're constantly putting things on the scalp. This is why. And as a result, you all have the same big ass, huge bald spots. And there is no reason why women this young should be having bald spots that look like this. But then y'all go and listen to guys like the one that I just played before. But it's like, you trying to look like a white woman. And in your quest to not look like a white woman, you're bald. You're making yourself bald. And it didn't have to be like that. It shouldn't.
You're 25, by the way. Most of you guys are going to be bald by the time you're 25, by the way. You're not going to have any edges left. The way some black women really start getting a seizure when they see a texture, black hair texture. I posted a video of my hair with this hairstyle.
Yeah.
Okay? And I basically said that I basically did a slick back with no, literally no products, no gel, just water. And the comments are just nasty, weird. First of all, the reason I decided to even do my hair like that with no products is because my hair is dirty as hell, and I'm not proud of that. I haven't washed my hair in a while, so school got to me a lot of stuff, so I did not have time to wash my hair. And because I let my hair stretch for a while, it's quite messy. It's not gonna be a quick wash because I let it get really bad. But anyways, yeah, I didn't want to add more products because it was just gonna make me feel nasty, and the product is not even gonna get inside the hair because it's dirt. The way some of y'all started crashing over my own hair. If we cared this much, if the black community and black women cared this much about our hair's health, the way we care about our hair being the slickest back that you can never see the texture, most of us would not have the problems that we have about our hair and the complaints that we have. Or my hair is so short, or oh, my hair is so dry, blah blah blah.
And girl, take off. But can we talk about a couple of things? Can we talk about her hair? And can we talk about her skin? Can we talk about those two things? God damn. I'm just trying to figure, sis look like one of them. Oh my God. What are we talking about? Oh, it's giving me chills. She's everything. Oh, about her ancestors. She's giving me 1940 baddie. That's what she's giving me right now. 1940s baddie. What are we talking about? Or she could even pass for the 80s, right? Oh, what are we talking about? So which one is it? Which one is it? Because we can't, I want all of y'all to shut up talking about black women trying to meet white people's standards, because their standards are not as extreme as the standards that other black women have for black women. Nobody can disrespect a black woman like other black women do. And I think it's bullshit. And that's why I do not entertain people who are constantly having this conversation. I don't. We're not Team Natural. Team Natural is Team Bully. That's who you are. Team Bully. And even if it's not Team Natural, just other black women in general. Stop talking about the outside world bullying black women. Stop talking about the outside world wanting to control black women until you stop. Because this is a beautiful ass woman. If you ain't never seen one in your life, her skin like glass, baby. Girl, do it to them.
Put it in for months. You're not even going to wash it. Yeah, your hair's going to be dry and it's never going to grow because it's dry and it's breaking off. Okay? There's a reason why black women are the leading group of people that have the most non-genetic hair loss, traction alopecia. Your edges start leaving your hair. You start getting bald spots and all that stuff because of the hairstyles that we do. Because of genetics. Yeah. There's a difference between genetic hair loss, which is the hair loss that most men do have, which is they start growing up and they start losing hair. Most black women with hair loss is not genetic. It's because of those styles.
Come on. Facts. Yes.
Okay? The freaking ponytails, the tight braids. Yeah, most of you are not gonna have your edges by the time you're 25. And I saw some comments that were oh, you could even added a little gel or something. That's how I know it's not about me.
You look good.
Me adding no products. Oh, I follow this amazing girl that also did a slick back, and because the girl did not want traction alopecia, she actually did use gel. She used product. She used water. She used a leave-in conditioner, and because her hair is 4C, it had texture. Okay, and you guys acted the same way. So this is how I know it's not about the fact that I didn't use any gel or products. You guys just don't like 4C hair texture showing, and it's sad. And also, it's just a lot of also disgusting, like rude ass comments from Black women. Please be quiet about anybody's hair. If all the like hairdressers close down, if people can't sell wigs anymore, hairdressers, hairstylists can't make braids anymore, you will literally never go out again because you generally feel so chopped, you feel so uncomfortable with your hair. If that is you, like, you just cannot go out with your natural hair. Be quiet. Don't ever say nothing about anybody's hair, okay? And you're not comfortable with your hair and you want to put that on me? Hell no. God forbid a girl wants to keep her edges. It's not even about preference. God forbid a girl likes her hair a certain way. There's no way you should be crushing out this much. And it's like, even if you don't like the hair, I've seen multiple videos of like Black women with like laces up, like laces that were looking a mess. The comments were not this bad. It's not about saying the hair looks bad if you think it looks bad. It's just about like being disgusted with like the fact that I have my hair this way. Because yeah, like I've seen comments of like girls with like effed up lace. It's like people like making jokes in like sarcastic ways. Mine is just like weird ass people that are just mad as hell and disgusted with my hair. Yeah, no, thank you.
Girl, you look, girl, you,
I already have a little, my hair's a little see-through, my edges, because of the braids, okay? So I just like it. And this is like what I can do right now until I wash my hair.
Cause I ain't never been with a wedding.
This deep, that's what
girl,
I'm saying,
you fine as girl,
like,
no homo.
Like, you have, like, there's so many other things to worry about. It is bulky,
girl.
Yes, but it's like, is it that deep though?
No.
Is it that deep?
You are exactly who you think you are.
I look pretty. I look good.
Yes, you do. Girl.
So this was supposed to be, a fire braid out to show how much my hair's grown because I big chopped in June. But now, can you see it?
Yep. And I told you I was coming.
So I know you can see it.
Yeah.
I have hairstylist-induced alopecia. I'm gonna tell a story Risa Tisa style while I get ready for work and try to figure out something with my hair. So I'm gonna tell it basically what was happening at the time that I was getting the hairstyle and then how I found out that I had a giant bald spot on the back of my head. Basically, last month, a little bit before Valentine's Day, I went to a popular hair braiding shop. And I have been there before. This is my second time going there. And I got this style. Now, I only had them braid the cornrows in the front and do the braid down for the sewing in the back. I did the sewing myself. The cornrows in the front, fine. It was good.
Okay.
The braid down is where we had an issue.
Time out, baby. Time out. If two people were in your head, you and another person, you cannot blame the braider. You cannot. I have done this braid pattern a million times. The reason that I don't do that. There have been times where I had a client come in talking about, somebody, I already braided my own hair down. Can you sew bundles in? Absolutely not. Because if I'm not the person who braided your hair down, even though I'm looking at it, I still don't know the level of attention that they use. I don't know. It is not my work. So I'm not going to go behind it and sew on top of it. If you went back and did a sew-in on top of a braid pattern that somebody else did, I don't care what anybody says, you did that. You cannot blame that on the braider. The braider braided your hair and then you went back in and if you are a cosmetologist and you know what you was doing, then you suck and I hope you don't be braiding nobody else's hair. But this was your fault, sister girl. You probably gripped it too tight with the thread because this is 2 levels of tension. It was probably already tight with the braid down, but her braid down actually doesn't look tight at all. But let's say that it was because I wasn't there. You then went back and sewed braids on top of it. So you can't blame it on her because it looks like your bald spot is right around that center piece. Well, a little bit lower than this, than the closure part, but a little bit below that, which means you probably you sewed the thread too tight. You were probably putting it up in a ponytail and all types of stuff, which slowly took the braids out. But you cannot blame the cosmetologist or the braider, and you went in your head after they put the braids in. That's BS. No.
She was tucking the end of my braid into the cornrows.
Yes.
And it was a tight squeeze. And I was sitting in the chair.
Why didn't you
and I
say
was in
anything?
pain, but I thought I was being dramatic. Oh, I'm just being tender-headed. So I didn't say anything. But the pain wasn't like anything I've ever felt getting done, a hairstyle done. I was in a chair.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep pausing it. So the pain was something like you've never felt before, but you went home and sewed on top of the pain. Okay, I got it.
Thinking like I was having brain damage or something. Like it was just hurting so bad. Like I felt like my nerve was tweaking. I thought I was gonna faint. But again, I thought I was being dramatic because I'm like, I'm just getting my hair braided. I'm sitting in the chair like, and I've never had to do that before.
That's ignorant. Why didn't you say anything?
There's a picture of it again. Like it was fine. Videos, I felt good. It was still hurting. Like my head was throbbing. But after a couple of days, you know, after you get your initial cornrow hairstyle, it starts to die down a little bit.
You know why it's died down a little bit? When it was throbbing, that was the hair detaching itself from the follicle. And when it calmed down, you know what that means? The hair already gone. God damn it. Oh my God.
It did that. So I didn't think about it anymore. And I hadn't seen my hair for easily a month. This is the longest I've ever kept in a hairstyle. But the issue was, let's say 5 weeks go by. It's yesterday. And it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm on the phone with my sister. I walk past, and she's like, "What's that on the back of your head? You have a bald spot?" And I'm thinking, my sister is just that type of person. She's funny. She likes to joke. You know how little sisters are. I was like, "Girl, you playing?" Grab my mirror, come in this very bathroom, and I look, and I'm like, then I was instantly reminded of what had happened in the chair during this hairstyle that I had just taken out about 4 days ago.
I hate
Thing
that.
was,
I
I
don't
hadn't
like
checked the back of my head
videos
since I took the hairstyle out. So whatever style I was doing, whatever style I had in for this week, I hope that the bald spot wasn't showing because I had no idea it was there until yesterday night. And this was the first time I was going to wear my natural hair in months. Like I had not worn my natural hair in a while. I was trying to get it to grow because I had just big chopped and now I have a giant bald spot on the back of my head. I don't trust them anymore.
And this tight ponytail not gonna make it no better.
I'm a DIY girly for sure. Like I started to lose my passion in DIY hair care, but
you should.
This just solidifies it now. These hairstylists have no educational training.
Girl.
They don't really care about your natural hair. They don't think about.
This is what I mean. What are we talking about? You sat there while you were getting your hair braided. It hurt. It was painful. She can't feel what you feel. You didn't say anything. You were just and then you went home and did a sew-in on yourself and you're blaming her. We're moving on.
This is the left side of my hair in March 2024 when I thought that my edges were just getting thinner. And then this is my hair in July 2024 when I discovered that I actually have a bald patch. This is September 2024 where, as you can see, the bald patch has grown bigger. And then this is now March 2025. It has got bigger again. And then I also have a bald patch where my widow's peak is as well. And then also on the right side of my head. Now, I've been to the doctor about this. And because I thought I had stress-induced alopecia, she said to me that it's not that. Okay, cool. Did blood tests, those came back normal.
Is that
But
bonnet?
if you're telling me that it's not stress-induced alopecia, then at least tell me what it is. The blood tests have come back normal, so I have another appointment tomorrow. And I just... I need my hair to grow back. Like, I literally haven't been able to do braids in nearly a year now, and I just want my hair to grow back. It's stressing me out even more. That's
just the bonnet.
This is the left side of my hair
And
in
the
March
braid.
2020.
The last thing you should be doing to your hair, if you have edges like this, is braids. Proof this straight back is the reason you have bald edges. So why do you? Okay, we done.
Baby, they hate you and you tried to help them. Ain't that some shit? Yes, they hate you and you tried to help them. I don't know. That's the story of my life. Baby, I tried to help. They didn't do the work with the help. So now they hate you because you didn't stop in the midst of trying to help them. Like,